a bad play that got the Cowboys to be able to say they beat the Lions. And again, just to show you, I don't follow sports. I just know how to read the numbers. But I did see the plays, and it's just a good way to get people thinking and understanding why so much of this happens. If you've got, say, $5–10 billion being bet just on the playoffs, you think there might be some rigging going on by the mafia? Oh, no. Oh, no. The mafia just runs snuff films and child kidnapping rings, different mafias that are out there. We think of mafia, it's a stereotype of Italian. That's a very small part of it. You got all these foreign mafias, Russian mafias, Israeli mafias, banking cartel mafias, Latin American mafias, Mexican mob mafias. Interpol's a giant mafia. NATO's the biggest narcotics trafficking mafia in Europe. But we've got all the numbers for you. We're going to talk NFL straight ahead and talk about those plays and break them down with the author of The Fix Is In. Stay with us. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Stay with us. For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At InfoWars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. In the near future. When you realize how fake it all is, the football, the basketball.
Alert. Security alert. This is Homeland Security. Analysis. InfoWars building independent media operations.
Let the worst people get control and tell us that we are the ones responsible.
Prime directive. Discredit Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
A popular conspiracy theory talk show called InfoWars.
Alex Jones is now in an Austin jail.
These people are assaulting us.
Targeting of patriots engaged.
They are never going to stop. They're never going to deviate from their program until we stop them.
Block free iPhone app at Infowars.com. Block free podcast and video feed. Imperative. Destroy Prison Planet TV.
You gotta set your eye on the enemy, not worry about what propaganda they put out. Intellectually, it's begun. You can feel it. Every year we make resolutions to lose weight and get in shape. And the truth is, it's hard, even with diet and exercise, because of toxic food in our environment that is stressing our bodies more than ever before. Working with experts in nutrition and biochemistry, I found that super high-quality nutraceuticals, in addition to my diet and exercise, were the answers that synergistically worked. I could see the drastic changes every day with the amount of weight I've lost, my increased stamina, and more of a twinkle in my eye. That's why we are now so excited to launch the InfoWars Life Resolution Pack, combining 3 essential formulations: oxygen-based cleanser Oxy Powder, the Secret 12 bioavailable vitamin B12, and your choice of super female or super male vitality. Now all available at a discounted price to you and your family to bring in the new year and make 2015 a true success. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. 2015 is the year to do it, and it all starts at InfoWarsLife.com.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Listening to an Infowars.com frontline report. It's Alex Jones.
Well, the spread had the Packers winning by 3. They won by 5. And the reason we're going to focus some in on sports and entertainment more on this broadcast is to discredit it, is to expose it, and just to get people thinking, hey, you might want to spend more time with your kids so they don't turn out being heroin addicts than just watching sports all day. It's designed and meant to distract men into basically these soap operas instead of having a life. You're supposed to have the type of complex thinking processes for business and life that you then put into football. So many men will bring up football to me or some other sport, and when I don't want to respond or I say I don't really follow that, they're shocked like I'm not manly. No, I open carry semi-automatic rifles on the steps of the Alamo with... you know, the head of major state agencies when it's illegal. I do that for your rights in front of the cops because their city law violates state law. I go and I get arrested in New York for the First Amendment. I go and make controversial films. I go into third world countries and war zones, and my crew does. So I know I'm not manly. I don't know all the football scores and all the stuff, but I started from nothing, a major media operation that reaches 18 million people a week one way or another. So it's like a badge of courage men have that they watch Howie and everybody. And, you know, when there's not ads with the Pittsburgh Steelers former quarterback up there promoting get your flu shot, get your single shots. I mean, it's just all a bunch of propaganda. And I know so much of it's rigged, and it's rigged through, what's the weakest link? Who's the easiest to buy? The referees. And joining us is Brian Tuohy. The Fix Is In is the book I've read. He's got a new book out that I'm going to read soon. The Showbiz and Manipulation of the NFL, MLB, NBA, NFL, and NASCAR. And he got into the FBI files on this, folks. And the FBI has tried to investigate this. They're never really allowed to bring this up. They can bring up steroids and other stuff, or you know, secret hit list, you know, secret list to hurt people, like the Saints got caught, but not the fact that there's major fixing going on. I don't know his take on this yet. We called him. He could come on after the game. He joins us via video Skype. Brian, what's your breakdown on this? And then we'll walk into some of the confirmed fixes, you know, not just Pete Rose and others, but some of the confirmed stuff that's going on out there.
Well, I think the main thing to remember, regardless of whatever game or whatever sport you're watching at the professional level, is the fact that it is not illegal for a league to fix its own games. There's no law that prevents this.
Says it on the ticket.
Yeah, well, that's part of your ticket. Your ticket promises you entry to see a game. If they present a game, it doesn't mean certain rules have to be followed. It doesn't mean certain players have to play. It doesn't mean a team cannot cheat. You paid to see a football game, for example. You saw a football game. They upheld their end of the bargain. So that's the main thing. If a league can do this, if they can fix their own games to manipulate them to make them more interesting so people stay and watch till the bitter end, or to even determine who wins and who loses, there's nothing the fan can do.
Have the power go out to make an extra $80 million?
That's part of the deal.
Oh, they wouldn't have the power out to make $80 million while everybody was watching.
Well, it's all about money. I mean, that's what the league puts the games on for. I mean, they put it on just for their own profit, for the television networks. And we've seen, I mean, statistically, it's shown that the television networks are surviving because of the National Football League. And then, of course, the advertisers are profiting from these leagues as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of entities involved in this. And I cannot believe a business like the NFL would leave itself up to pure chance. And that's what fans have to believe, that this is all a coincidence as how do these games play out, who wins and who loses. It's just a lucky bounce of the ball. Well, no multi-billion-dollar industry such as the NFL or any others would really allow their product up to chance if they can control it. And
well, it's also tax exempt for people that don't know, the league itself, so it has a partnership with the government.
Exactly. And then, like you said earlier, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense that that occurs because if the government is using the NFL and the NBA and these other leagues, much like the Romans used the gladiator games to distract the populace from what the government is doing, then it's a perfect correlation to today's sport. And it does the same effect. I mean, you see it just from, like you say, the controversial call in today's game. How many people are up in arms paying attention to that, but yet they don't even know what's going on within their government and other entities.
It's a great distraction. Now you're an expert on the fixes that are there, and I read your book, but it was last year. It was a couple years ago. But from my research, obviously boxing matches are easy to rig if Don King owns both fighters, things like that. But isn't it really, from your investigations, it's the refs that are the weak link, right?
Well, one of the weakest links for sure, because obviously they don't get paid the millions of dollars certain athletes like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady get paid. So it's harder to corrupt them. But that doesn't mean it's impossible that you cannot corrupt a player like that. I mean, we've seen with soccer where we've seen matches fixed all over the globe in soccer. I mean, it's the world's #1 sport. It makes the most money. It's the most widely watched sport. And we've seen soccer matches at every level, all the way up to the World Cup, which is the biggest sporting event in the world. We've seen soccer matches be fixed. We know that's occurred. So why, if that's happened on the biggest stage possible, why do we think that a simple NFL game or NBA game could not be fixed? So as long as we know what's possible, then we have to figure out the roots as to how that can be done. And we know from the mafia, from its own history, that they find the weak link with people. They find the ways to corrupt people, be it through women, be it through drugs, be it through gambling, whatever. They find that weakness, they exploit it, and they make money off of it. If the mafia can do that, why can't the league do it when they control the players and referees all the same?
Well, I mean, look, a lot of the owners come from major gangster families to begin with. Even on the Italian side, sports is historically corrupt. I think, as you said, soccer's been caught a bunch. Other sports have been caught all over the world. I think the U.S., Japanese sports are famously fixed. Massive gamblers, huge gambling in China. I mean, gambling all over. But I've seen the numbers. It's 8 to 10 times more money just for the NFL. But in sports in general, it varies in gambling total than what the sports even make. So that shows that everything's geared towards the gambling, right?
In a way, yeah, because, I mean, like you say, the NFL makes about $10 to $11 billion a season. Most of that money comes from the television networks that really fund the sport. But we know from studies, and I mean, they're just kind of estimates on how much sports gambling is done every year. The last good estimate comes from 1999, and that says anywhere from $80 to $380 billion every year.
And we all know it's much bigger now.
Well, yeah, I mean, around the world. I mean, if you go global, where many of these big-time gamblers will bet offshore, they'll bet in Europe, they'll bet in Asia and other places. Yeah, I mean, who knows how much money is being spread around, and much of it is done illegally, and much of it is in organized crimes control. So when the NFL and the NBA and these other leagues prevented New Jersey from legalizing sports gambling in that state, like is allowed in Nevada, basically the leagues were siding with organized crime because it's one of the organized crime's biggest moneymakers.
Well, I think the nail in the coffin is the anti-gun, anti-family, anti-free speech messages of the NFL. I mean, you tune into it, and it is just brainwashing. And their partnership with Homeland Security and with Obama, and Obama is in the intro to Monday Night Football. I mean, even if I was a libertarian and they had a libertarian president as part of the intro, that's what you have in fascist countries or in Venezuela.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, because it's a perfect use of propaganda. I mean, it's a perfect way to get a certain audience's attention is to affiliate yourself with the National Football League. I mean, it's the most watched. I think they have 24 of the most 25 watched programs in the United States this year, or in 2014, I should say.
Sure.
I mean, it is the most watched thing. The Super Bowl is the most watched event, televised event.
Sure, and if you add all the derivatives of replays and everything, it's the most watched soap opera for men, NFL. Stay there. We'll be right back with our guest. The Fix is in.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency.